Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 18, which is entitled as Sannyasa Yoga. Sloka 49, Part 4. Asakta-buddhiḥ sarvatra, jitātmā vigata-spṛhaḥ, naiṣkarmya-siddhiṁ paramāṁ, sannyāsenādhigacchati. Sarvatra asakta-buddhiḥ, having a sense of detachment in the result and free from the notion I am the doer. This action is under my control. Jitātmā, having control of the mind. Here the term Atma in this context refers to mind. One who has conquered his mind. Vigata-spṛhaḥ, who is free from the sense of mine and theirs, even in his dreams. Sannyāsena, by merely practicing what was described as tyaga, paramāṁ naiṣkarmya-siddhiṁ, the state of yoga which occurs after jnana yoga, adhigacchati, attains. Translation: one who is self-controlled and unattached and who disregards all material enjoyments can obtain, by practice of renunciation, the highest perfect stage of freedom from reaction. We learned that the stage of dhyana-nishtha, which is higher than jnana yoga, is achieved only when the senses are under complete control, when the senses are not involved in their respective activities. But Krishna said in the previous sloka, 48th sloka, that karma-nattached, one cannot give up the karma, the activities, their duties. How do we connect these two statements to attain dhyana-nishtha? Unless we give up the activities, we won't be able to focus ourselves within. If we are not able to focus within, then we are not able to attain the stage of dhyana-nishtha. But Krishna says, do your duty. Karma yoga. As we said earlier, Krishna will not promote jnana yoga to Arjuna, because Arjuna is already inclined towards jnana yoga, wanting to give up things and go to the forest. The whole idea of Bhagavad Gita that Krishna spoke to Arjuna is to get him engaged in activities. But if he is going to get engaged in activities, how can he attain the dhyana-nishtha stage? If he get engaged in battle, he will get entangled in this samsara. Whereas if he disengage himself in this battle, he can become free from the samsara. But Krishna keeps saying, engage, do your duty, do your varnashrama dharma, not to give up. How do we connect these two different viewpoints? A simple statement that needs to be inserted when Krishna says, do not give up, do your duty, is by applying the threefold tyaga. Perform karma with the tyaga, satvika tyaga, kartritva tyaga, mamata tyaga, and phala tyaga. And that is what Krishna is saying as sannyasa, which is also called as tyaga. By performing karma with this threefold tyaga, gradually one will be able to attain dhyana-nishtha stage. That is possible just through karma yoga, without the interference of jnana yoga. When the indriyas are refrained from karma, it is nivritti marga. When the indriyas are engaged in karma, it is pravritti marga. So, the question is, in karma yoga, the indriyas are not inactive, they are active. Then why Krishna is promoting karma yoga? Rather, he should have encouraged everyone to take up nivritti marga, which is jnana yoga, so one can give up all the karmas, activities that involves our senses. Well, Krishna knows very well. If he said, please give up all the activities, do not get involved with the senses, control the senses, only focus within yourself, for that take up jnana yoga, then Krishna knows very well he will not have enough candidates, students, to take up jnana yoga. Therefore Krishna very nicely, beautifully connects this gap by saying perform karma yoga with trivida tyaga. When you do that, that itself said to be renunciation, sannyasa. You don't need to go to forest, you don't need to change your code of dress, you don't need to give up anything, but develop the consciousness that I am not the doer, this action's not under my control, and the result is not mine. And Arjuna, that is the fact. You are not the only doer. There are 4 others besides you. I have already explained this earlier. And you are not the owner, because nothing stays with you forever, for eternity. If it is not yours, and you are not the doer, then obviously the result also doesn't belong to you. When you come to this point of understanding in all the activities that you perform, then it is nivritti marga, which is the key for jnana yoga, and that is the driving factor to attain dhyana nishta. So when karma yoga is done with attachment, it is pravritti marga. But the same karma yoga is done with detachment, it becomes nivritti marga. In this sloka, naiṣkarmya-siddhiṁ paramāṁ, that is the meditative state which is most excellent, which is also the end result of jnana yoga, does not refer to moksha, liberation. Naiṣkarmya-siddhiṁ, siddhi means perfection. Here it does not refer to the moksha. The next verse speaks of what one should do to attain moksha. To conclude, by having one's intellect unattached to the fruits and his mind under control, and without ever thinking of himself as the doer, one attains the great state of yoga, which is otherwise attainable through jnana yoga, which is the end result of jnana yoga. By practicing sannyasa, which is also called as tyaga, in short, by practicing trivida tyaga, that is sattvika tyaga, kartritva, mamata and palatyaga, one will be able to gradually attain the state of yoga, which is nothing but dhyana nishta. The next verse speaks of what one should do to attain Brahman after attaining this siddhi, which is dhyana nishta. So this sloka emphasizes on that most excellent state of mind, the meditative state, which is dhyana nishta, which can be obtained through jnana yoga or directly through karma yoga. After one attains this siddhi, the following slokas explains what one should do to move forward in this path, because dhyana nishta is not end of it. We will learn more about it in the following slokas. But the key point to proceed further or to progress spiritually is to perform tyaga, to be a sannyasa. The real renunciation, as Srila Prabhupada mentions in his purport, is one should always think himself as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and therefore think that he has no right to enjoy the results of his work. Since he is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, the results of his work must be enjoyed by the Supreme Lord. This is actually Krishna consciousness. The person acting in Krishna consciousness is really a sannyasi, one in the renounced order of life. By such a mentality, one is satisfied because he is actually acting for the Supreme. Thus, he is not attached to anything material. He becomes accustomed to not taking pleasure in anything beyond the transcendental happiness derived from the service of the Lord. And here is a important message. A sannyasi is supposed to be free from the reactions of his past activities. But a person who is in Krishna consciousness automatically attains this perfection without even accepting the so-called order of renunciation. So the expectation is the person who is in the process of Krishna consciousness will perform all his activities with trivida tyaga. When he performs his activities in trivida tyaga, then he is said to be a renounced person. It is not that one has to officially become a sannyasi by changing clothes to perform trivida tyaga. That tyaga can be performed even when one is not officially a sannyasi. In fact, Krishna's recommendation is for us to do our duty with trivida tyaga, and by doing so, one will attain the same result of what one will attain otherwise by giving up all the activities. We hope that this past few sessions helped to connect the dots back to the purport. Asakta-buddhiḥ sarvatra, jitātmā vigata-spṛhaḥ, naiṣkarmya-siddhiṁ paramāṁ, sannyāsenādhigacchati. Namaste. Hare Krishna.